One of the best editing softwares to be using is Adobe Premiere, and I absolutely love the Adobe Creative Cloud, and they're always making improvements. So if you are either an Adobe Creative Cloud user or you're looking to get into it, you're gonna wanna check out these 5 updates that you need to know that'll level up your productivity when it comes to video editing, captions, and so much more. Let's get into it.
You gotta just press record.
Hey, what's up? It's Omar with Think Media, and we're here at NAB checking out Adobe, and we're here at the Adobe booth, and we want to talk about the best updates. And I'm here with Patrick, who is the
Director of Product Management for Pro Video.
There you go. That was like take number 5, but it's all good. And we just want to talk about essentially the 5 things I think you need to know if you are either a Premiere editor or you're looking into potentially getting into Premiere, because they're really trying to get more people, and these updates would entice you to check in to that stuff. And the first one you wanted to talk about is the import and export experience.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me. Import and export, indeed, is something that we identified as a bit of a pain point for people who are new to the product. And the industry is growing, right? We want to make sure that we bring as much people in with as less friction as possible. And so, as a result, we said we can't really dumb anything down, so we got to have pro options. But there's no reason for things to look like in the 90s with a lot of great space and empty boxes and things that don't make any sense to anybody in 2022. So as a result, we've made everything more visual for import in particular. Made it very easy to build a sequence, just really literally from a camera roll, if you will. And at the same time, when you're done with an edit, we also notice that indeed it's overwhelming to look at all of the options. If you look at what's inside Premiere, rightfully so, it's basically every option ever needed in 30 years of media production. So, but is that true in terms of what you need if you just wanted to publish to YouTube? And obviously the answer is, well, most of these options are irrelevant if that's your target. And so we've made everything destination-centric for export. So if you choose YouTube, you still have all the options to go with the really fine granular detail that you may want, but it's only what's available in that output target space. So that's a really beautiful thing to really save you some time and also increase confidence, quite frankly, in the output being what you want, and that is going to work beautifully. Beyond that, we have a new auto color in Premiere. That's actually really cool. If you haven't seen it yet, worth checking out. That's a really quick way into getting a first pass onto a scene to just get the colors to a base level, right? It's not doing any color grading for you. People are always afraid of auto. I am, but it's not the point, right? We want to get you started, and that's actually true for a lot of the things we've developed over the last couple of years, that we want to give you a head start, right? The creativity comes after.
Dude, I love that. And I've been editing on Premiere for like 15 years, and it's hard for me to like try out another platform because I'm so used to it. Yeah. But yeah, you communicate to somebody else and they're like, dude, it looks like I don't even know where to start. And I've noticed how easy it is to now export, and I love that you could preview footage before you even import it, so keeping your project even cleaner. I love that. The second thing you wanted to talk about was frame integration. What was that?
That is a big thing indeed. So for those of you who missed it, Frame.io became an Adobe company about 6 months ago or so, and we're now really proud to be able to announce here at the show that we've got full integration into Premiere Pro and After Effects. So it comes out of the box, it's part of your subscription, and you can just get started just basically by launching the product, right? Update to the latest version, there it is. You have a frame panel sitting right inside the product, does everything you'd expect if you'd been using it before. But we know that a lot of customers just were afraid of getting into it, trying it. It was a separate download, it was a little bit of work to get it started, right? So it needed a bit more attention. Now it's kind of like, hey, if you don't try, you're missing out. You should. It's a wonderful way of getting stakeholders involved. It's a great review and approval tool. Generally speaking, it's very mature at this point. But it actually goes beyond the integration there. We also show camera to cloud as really something that's been broadly extended beyond what Frame has shown last year. So new hardware partners for the super high-end workflow, but it really extends across the range now. So we have even Filmic Pro as an app on an iPhone that does have an option now to directly send to Frame.io. And if you connect that with the workflow in Premiere and After Effects, you can literally, we could do this here, we could shoot on our phones, both sending into a Frame.io store that would show up right there. We are actually doing this here at the show. You can then start editing with the proxies that we're sending straight up, and it takes seconds to get there. So it's really beautiful. And a lot of hardware is coming about around us to make sure that you get secured bandwidth, to make sure that, generally speaking, bandwidth in remote areas isn't an issue. So this is becoming a thing. Camera to cloud is really on the rise.
And camera to cloud, something to look out for. I would say something that we could even start to look into, because we have multiple editors, different locations, and we'll shoot something, upload it, that person will then have to download it and then, put it in their project. And so that sounds really cool. We like to say that audio is 50% of video because part of the video viewing experience comes with the audio part. And that goes to show with music and, sound effects and things like that. And you were talking about Remix. Can you tell me a little bit about Remix?
Yeah, that's something I'm actually really excited about because we had it in our audio product Audition, but similarly, if it exists for the experts only, what good does it do, right? We're always about making sure that we bring it to as many people as possible. What it does, though, just to quickly explain the thing, if you have a 2-minute edit, say, and you've been editing to a lovely piece of music, but it turns out towards the final, someone's telling you, this needs to come down to 90 seconds. Usually you take it down into individual bits and pieces and you find what's repetitive and you just shorten something there, right? It's tedious, it's time consuming, and if someone's going to say, I'm sorry, we have actually 5 seconds more that we need, you start all over again, right? It's it's impossible to get that right in a short time frame. And why would you if there is a tool that would allow you to just say, hey, let's go in just basically with the razor tool and choose the option to remix instead of just slicing it. And so you can just drag it to the desired output time. It will just find the beats for you, find the musical segments for you, and just remix it as the name of the tool suggests. It's literally what it does to that particular duration. Will sound beautiful. You'll not notice the seams. We show them to you, by the way, so we show you where we're actually extracting, inserting something, but when you listen to it, it's just completely flawless with pretty much every music you can throw at it.
So cool. This is probably my favorite, just because as someone who would caption videos line by line, now we have like automated captions and speech. Talk about speech and captions now in Adobe Premiere.
Yeah, that is something that we actually released last year, and we keep improving on it, but you may have missed that. And if you have, this is stupidly exciting as far as I'm concerned, because creating good captions is time consuming, right? I mean, getting a good transcript is worth something in the first place if you can start just navigating just by text, which is something that we enable you with the text panel inside the product. It's actually really quick, it's on device, it definitely is very accurate. That's actually what's changed over the last couple of years. It's also the same thing. It's actually an AI-driven feature which did allow for it to come up to the quality levels that it is at the moment. If the recording quality is mostly good and if you have a good speaker, I'm not a native speaker, but it would still get most of what I'm saying pretty much right.
Yeah, and I've messed with it, and I think the ability to go in and make those final tweaks you need to make is super easy and helpful.
It's easy to edit.
Right.
It's absolutely easy to edit, but what's more, then it absolutely easily flows into the new captions pipeline. And if you haven't that used in a while, that's changed dramatically, right? That used to be a very closed system where you could put in an STL file, but editing anything in the captions was close to impossible and really a nightmare. Speaking of changing duration or anything, that didn't really make you feel like you're having fun. Now it's a track-based system with clips, just like anything else in the product. We've really modernized that, but it flows directly from the transcript into the captions. And as you say, it's easy enough to make some smaller changes if you figure that you don't need the oohs and ahs quite as expressed in the captions. And I think what's most exciting, especially for social, is that you can now really quickly stylize and highlight things. And if you want to burn in and not just do closed captions, it just gives you an opportunity to express yourself, right? It's something that becomes part of the creative output there, and it's not just there to serve the need of having captions in the first place.
Dude, I love it. The last thing we wanted to talk about is now the M1 integration with Adobe After Effects, which I know we were talking about Adobe Premiere, but I definitely think the M1 experience has grown even with Premiere, but I wanted to just talk through some of that.
It definitely has with all of our products. So all of the Adobe products by now are native on the new Apple platform. There is a lot to be said about great performance on the M1 architecture with After Effects. We also made sure to bring a lot of performance boost to the PC platform. So there have been smaller and incremental improvements over time to make sure that we're definitely serving all of our audience. So there's no favoritism in here. In terms of going either way, a lot of times that's actually dictated by whatever else it is you need to do. And that's why we stay out of the game of saying, hey, this is better than that. But I love seeing the advancements that we're seeing that generally give you a notion that the hardware industry is paying attention to the needs of the media and entertainment industry. That I love. And just, looking at things, sticking for M1 with a second, just looking at things, the opportunity to hardware accelerate ProRes, so you get multiple streams of 8K, even on a MacBook. That's insane. It's a testimony to the growth in the industry. The interest is definitely there to capture an audience that is constantly growing. We have so much more storytelling today that's done with video, and I love that. It's just so great to see that.
Well, cool. Thank you so much, Patrick, for your time and sharing that information with our audience. If you want to check out another video from us here at Think Media, just go ahead and click or tap the screen. Can't wait to see you in a future video. Peace.